Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching another episode at Investing with All I See is W. Today, I wanted to make this video to share with you my insights for today on 10 top tickers that can add significant value to your investment portfolio, along with some tickers that had roared today in the stock market, at least for the biotech sector. And I'll share those tickers with you, and I hope that some of you have held on to these tickers, because if you're a long-term investor, you can capitalize on these significant spikes, and that's why I feel biotech will roar back. And what's so exciting is that we're hearing so much news, for example, with Donald Trump presenting today with the news media. It seems as though there's going to be more support with external funding for just vaccine developers. So that's good news, and that's why you kind of see the stock market along with the vaccine producers skyrocketing with its share price. So that's a good thing. On top of that, we also heard from the market that there's going to be a 0% for the federal funds rate. So what that means is that commercial banks in the United States, there are 12 commercial banks that borrow from the government, and basically if there's a 0% federal funds rate, then that means the banks can basically borrow money at a 0% cost, and once they charge us small consumers with the percentage, that's how they make money. But let's say if it were to go up by like 0.25 and 1%, that means APR interest rates and so forth would increase for us, if you think about mortgage rates, for example. All right, but what that means is that in the next 3 years, since the federal funds rate is going to be set to 0% up through 2023, what that did was it uplifted the stock market, because now it seems as though people want to invest their money in the stock market and be able to park in different areas that have momentum. So the norm is changing now, where it seems like the value is more along the lines of putting it into the stock market. So now I'm going to go ahead and share with you these tickers, but first, before I begin, I'd like to inform you that the information I'll be sharing with you should be used as guidance information only. Anytime when you make an investment decision, please do your investment research. Thank you. Ticker number one I wanted to share with you is Pacific Ethanol by the ticker PEIX. Today it hovered up 26.46%, and in the aftermarket it is hovering an additional 3%. So as you can see here, back in August 26, it was like 50% less than what its current price is, and it's gone up about 100% gains up to $6. But I feel like this company that's based out in Sacramento with an employee size of 500 working on renewable energies and other sorts of projects that's going on, I feel like this company can continue to make a run, and it's exciting just to see a company based in California getting so much support. And it's good to see more buyers with the company for PEIX, because the share price is continuing to grow. All right, so I don't want to focus so much on this company, but just continue to monitor, and I hope that you all had gained from this. So next up is Inovio by the ticker INO. So today the ticker went up by close to 36%, and that is just big news, just knowing that there wasn't actually any news that came out, but people had just appreciated the response from the investor conference when the CEO Joseph Kim had mentioned to the public that it's looking promising that the FDA will likely clear the company into advancing into phase 2 clinical trials. And what made investors and shareholders more confident was the fact that Joseph Kim mentioned that the INO 4800 demonstrates either neutralizing antibodies or T-cell response. So that right there alone boosted up the share price. But to me, I feel like the share price can grow even further, because the peer review will be coming out, and we will be hearing clearance from the FDA to enter phase 2 by this month. And we anticipate results from the clinical trials that's taking place in South Korea. And we just heard news about a signed agreement with China accepting the INO 4800 for its future clinical trials program. So now all that is looking very beneficial, at least just for the INO 4000 platform. Now, when we look at other areas, for example, the late phase VGX in the phase 3 clinical trials for dysplasia, I'm excited to see all of that data be available, and that's going to make this share price skyrocket, and that's why my target price is $80. Now, next up I wanted to talk about is VBI vaccines by the ticker VBIV. As you can see today, up through the aftermarket, it's hovered close to 14% today, and that's just great news. And again, there's no news specific that was released for VBIV, but it's just that the external environment right now, we see such a demand push for vaccine developers. And to me, I just feel like the race is now on now, where companies are beginning to get more recognition, and now things are getting more in place. Funding is likely going to be supported by the government, and that's going to be allocated to all these high-end companies. And to me, I feel like VBI vaccine has a solid hepatitis vaccine that's available, as well as hoping to advance its COVID-19 program. And the fact that they have facilities in Israel and also working to build an expansion program in Canada, as well as its headquarters in Massachusetts, I feel like this company is expanding across the globe, and we can see a potential spike up to where it previously run, close to $5 soon. All right, so now I wanted to hover over to the next ticker, which is Ibio by the ticker IBIO. Now, as you can see here in the aftermarket, not only has it gone up by 7% at the end of the market, but it's also hovering close to another 10% in the after hours, with the share price of $2.38. And again, what we know is this company had gone from like $2 to $7 resistance, and it dropped back down to the $1. Now it's back gaining a support level at $2.38. The fact that there's so much news information, there's so much support now being discussed about from politicians, I feel like Ibio is going to start getting annual investments. For example, if you search up, Ibio funding, you'll see just so much discussions on YouTube right now going on. And I feel like the fact that Ibio is government affiliated, DARPA was what had established Ibio. So we know that if the government sees a need in advancing biologics vaccines for pandemics, then there will be funding coming in. Ibio would be a funnel for that, and who knows, by the next year, let's say if there will be other scary viruses out there that's airborne, Ibio will be one of the companies that will be supported by the government because of its scale-up capabilities and being able to work flexible as a contract manufacturer. So it's great just seeing that the share price is hovering up, and once we start hearing that the Ibio 201, the lichen protein subunit vaccine, enters the phase 1 clinical trials based on FDA's clearance of the investigational new drug submission, as well as the Ibio 200, I have firm belief that the share price can reach up to its prior resistance value of the $7 and then go beyond that. And my price target is $30 to $50 for Ibio. And one comment I'd like to make is I appreciate the CEO Tom Isett for how he is delivering and implementing new ways of looking at scaling up this company to make it more of a economies of scale so that it can gain competitive advantage. So I see that happening, but it doesn't happen overnight. But with the direction from the CEO that's in place at Ibio, I'm sure it will happen. All right, next up I wanted to go over is Heat Biologics by the ticker HTBX. Today, the share price had gone up 23% at the end of the market. Now in the aftermarket, it's going up close to another 6%. And it's just getting so much recognition now. I mean, recently it was hovering at $1 and everyone was so scared, just asking for input. How's HTBX? What's going to happen? But look, the fact that it's hovered close to 150, that means you've gained close to 33% on just this share price alone on this company. And with this GP96 pre-approved vaccine that's demonstrating safety and efficacy on animal studies at least, that will likely present positive results once the company enters phase 1 and starts testing on healthy patients. So I'm excited to see how companies like HTBX will play out along with its array of other pre-approved products that they're working on this time. But it's amazing just to see that the share price is going up, and this may go up beyond the $3 share price range unexpectedly. So let's not ignore HTBX, based in Florida, working with University of Miami. All right, now next up I want to go over is Sorrento Therapeutics by the ticker SRNE. Today, during the market, it slowly hovered up, but towards the end of the market, it got up to 20% gains at the end of market, and in the aftermarket, it's hovering up another close to 5%. Now the share price is tickling up to the double-digit range, and I had mentioned that previously to all those investors who were losing confidence in a company like Sorrento Therapeutics. But hey, according to the CEO Henry G, like what he mentioned, beware to all the shorters out there. Do not try to short this company, because this company will have a run back, and as you can see, it's gaining back its share price. So let's say if you were to get it like previously at the close to like the $6 range, well, it's up to like close to $9 now, so you've capitalized close on 30% gain right there. And the fact that this company has 7 pre-approved COVID-related 19 vaccines, immunotherapies, diagnostic testings, and cytokines, I feel like this company will make headway into gaining on its share price. And the fact that it's working not only on 2 emergency use authorizations to speed up their authorization process in the United States, it's also working in Brazil to get the Covishield accepted by Anvisa so that it can be used on infected COVID-19 patients in hospitals. And we know that in Brazil there's an array of people infected right now, up to the millions. So it's in the top 5 country right now for COVID-19 infected people. All right, now I'm going to go over next to Novavax by the ticker NVAX. Today, it's gone up close to 10%, including in the aftermarket here. Now, we know that it dropped back down to the below 100 subunit, and now it's back up to the 120. And we know that about a month ago, it was getting close to 170, and it went back down to 100, and now it's hovering back up to 120. So we're seeing that U-shaped curve, the cup forming. And we know that it has a solid NanoFlu pre-approved vaccine that's being studied in phase 3 right now, and we may hear more news for that coming out. And the fact that Canada bought a stockpile of its pre-approved vaccine for the COVID-19, that just tells you that there's already demand in place in Canada. What about other countries that's going to want to get some of Novavax's vaccines? But I feel like, in Canada, there may be a demand for VBIV once VBIV starts working on their vaccine and starts distributing in Canada. So there will be other players around different territories of the world. So it's exciting to see all these vaccine producers work into different countries at this time. But for me, with Novavax, I feel like this company, the fact that it was like in the mid $15 and it shot up to 120, I think this was the game-winning ticker here, NVAX. I mean, I personally got in at NVAX at around $60, got out at 100, so that was about a 40% gain on a small investment. But hey, at least it was on positive proceeds, and I'll never look back. And I'm just thankful for a company like NVAX to be able to gain so much on positive proceeds. Now, next up I wanted to go through is Tesla. Now, although this company had gone down at the end of the stock market, in the aftermarket it's going back up close to 1%. So the fact that it's pretty stagnant today, here's your opportunity to capitalize. Why? Because September 1st the share price was $500. Now, I was making videos around this time, 3:30, indicating that this is a great buying opportunity, that up through now it's still great, because if you were to purchase around this time frame, it's much cheaper than where it was back in August. And if you're considering long term with Tesla, this company will gain a big return on investment. So to me, I feel like if you set it and forget it by just buying more Tesla, if you see the dips, you will gain, and this company will shoot up. So Tesla is one of the most solid companies to invest in because of its benchmark in electric vehicles right now, and it's dominating right now. And if you just go by the Fremont facility, you just see so many Tesla cars just out by the parking lot because the sales numbers are just so high, and that's what's allowing for the company to grow so much. And not only is it about the cars, but they also have like the Solar City brand with energy, and also the battery foundation that was built in Australia as the size of the football field. And also there's infrastructure being built in Germany. So there you go. It's all over the world. And Tesla, to me, I feel like eventually it will gain even further on its share price. And I won't be surprised if the ticker TSLA will hover around the 1,000 mark towards Q4 end of year. Now, next up I wanted to go to is by the ticker Apple, AAPL. Today, as you can see, the share price dropped close to 3%. So why? Why am I bringing this up? It's an opportunity to capitalize. And why? It's because this company makes the greatest phones, the greatest laptops, the greatest watches, the greatest technology for everyone to live a simple and interactive lifestyle. And people love the ecosystem when using Apple products. For example, the earpods, using your iWatch and using your Apple Pay to pay instead of having to pull out your phone. It just makes it more convenient. That's really changing the way how humans interact, as well as physical ergonomics and how you behave. So that's why I feel like Apple is going to continue to increase in its share price. And from a financial standpoint, if you look at their balance sheet, you will see that this company just has a high profitability, high solvency, and high liquidity, meaning it always has money and it has a low deficit when you look at their balance sheet. So that's why Apple is going to continue to grow. Now, next up I wanted to go through is the last ticker, and this ticker is surprising to most people. I hope those who kept onto this ticker experienced a significant spike of close to like 40% up through the after hours here. So now the share price is hovering close to $8.80. I was recommending this at around $6, and the fact that it's gone up close to $9, and this is good news for KODK. Now, I don't want to get into the specifics here, but a lot of investors dislike or like this ticker, but the fact that it's gone up close to 40% today, we shouldn't ignore companies like this, especially if you're just actively monitoring, value add companies. And the fact that it's gone twice now with spikes, there's potential for more, and that's why I wanted to bring this up for you. So I hope that these 10 tickers gave you new insight to how you can apply it to your investment strategy. But please be mindful, anytime when you make an investment decision, please do your investment research. And I hope that this video overall was valuable for you. And thank you again for watching another episode at Investing with All I See Is W. Let's win, you guys.